Hello students, I am Badrinarayan BL, lecturer in English from Government PU College, Science Field, Shumoga. Now I am going to take up the poem On Children by Khalil Gibran. Gibran is a Lebanon American poet. His poems are often prosaic in movement and philosophic in theme, and probably for this reason his poems are often considered poetic essays. The Prophet is his well-known work. On Children is a selection from his work, The Prophet. Through this poem, the poet gives a philosophic lesson to the parents about responsible parenting. The moment you start reading the poem, you are made to inevitably visualize a picture of a woman who holds a baby in her bosom, and standing in front of her a prophet who is normally taken as a god man. And the woman asks the prophet, "Speak to us of children." As a mother, the woman knows very much about children, of course, but out of interest, she wants to know much more about children from the prophet. That's why she asks him to speak about children. The prophet begins by telling us about responsible parenting and urges the parents to introspect through this poem. He says, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself." This line is quite puzzling and shocking, not only to the woman but also to the readers. And your children are not your children. In this line, there is a special stress on the use of the pronoun yours when it is used for the second time in this line. That is, the parents only have given birth to the children, but they cannot own them like a property or some material wealth. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಜೀವ ಅಥವಾ ಆತ್ಮ, ಜೀವಾತ್ಮ ಅಥವಾ ಚೇತನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಗುವಿನ ಆತ್ಮಕ್ಕೂ ಅಥವಾ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೂ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ತುಡಿತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮಿಡಿತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಳೆತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಸೆಳೆತದ ಪರಿಣಾಮನೇ ಈ ಮಗು. That's why the poet says, the children are the sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself. They come through parents but not from them. Again, notice the technical or poetic use of the simple prepositions like through and from here. The children use the parents as a medium or means to come to this world, and they are only the means to come to this world, and they are not the original creators of the children. Original creator is God. And that is why poet says, the children come through the parents but not from them. So they cannot be possessed by the parents like a property or wealth. Parents can give unconditional love to their children but not their thoughts, because children have got their own thoughts, their own individual existence, their own individual aspirations. That's why parents can only give their children their love. They cannot impose their thoughts on the children. The poet further says, the parents can house the bodies of the children but not their souls. House in the sense, parents can only give shelter and protection to the bodies of the children but not to their souls, because the children's souls will be living or dwell in the house of tomorrow. What is this house of tomorrow? That is future. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಗುವಿನ ಆತ್ಮದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ, ಅಂತರಾಳದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ಬಗೆಗಿನ ಒಂದು ತುಡಿತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಪೊಯೆಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಡ್ವೆಲ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹೌಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ, and this is the future world which is getting framed in the inner self of the children, where the parents cannot visit even in their dreams. ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪೋಷಕರು ತಮ್ಮ ಕನಸಿನಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಥವಾ ಕಲ್ಪನೆಯಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಪಂಚನ ಕಾಣೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಆತ್ಮದ ತುಡಿತ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮುಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ದ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅನ್ inclination towards the past, and that is why he says children belong to the future. They will be always moving towards the future. Parents belong to the past generation or the older generation, and they cannot have a control over the children. So the parents should not try to make their children like them. If they like, they can attempt or they can strive hard to become like children, but they should not try to make their children like them. The prophet gives us the image of the archer with a bow and arrow. Here the archer stands for the creator or God, bow stands for parents, and the living arrows stand for children. The archer sets a mark on the infinite and bends his bow so that the arrow reaches the target swift and perfectly. God loves both the living arrow that flies and the stable bow, the poet says. That means, as much as the bow bends, so fast and swift and perfect the arrow reaches its target. And by means of using this image of bow and arrow, the poet is trying to convince us of the parent-children relationship through these lines. And in order to serve the will of God, the parents and the children are equally important for God. Just as the bow and arrow both are equally important for an archer, children or parents are equally important for the God to serve his will. And that is the end of the poem. Now let us have a quick look at the short answer questions which can be asked in the examination. This is not an exhaustive list of questions, and only the samples have been given. Whom does the woman address in the first line of the poem on children? She is addressing the prophet. Answer is the prophet. Second question is, who according to the speaker are the sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself? The children is the answer. The third question, why shouldn't the parents impose their thoughts on children? Answer is because the children have their own thoughts. Question number 4 says, where do the souls of children dwell? Answer is in the house of tomorrow. Here, students, wherever the full complete sentence is necessary, then only you try to write the whole sentence. Wherever a word or phrase or clause is enough, only write the words or phrases or clauses. That is enough. Okay. Then the fifth question is, name the place where the parents cannot visit even in their dreams. The house of tomorrow is the answer. The sixth question is, what does the bow stand for in the poem on children? Bow stands for parents. The living arrows refers to dash. Answer is the children. Whom does the archer refer to in the poem on children? The God is the answer. Next, 4 mark questions. I have given here only 2 questions, and a question can be asked in any way. Question number 1 is, how does Khalil Gibran urge the parents to introspect in his poem on children? The second question is, bring out the significance of bows, arrows and the archer in the poem on children. Then only one 6 marks question, if it is asked, it can be asked like this or any way. Like, the poem on children does not focus merely on children, but also talks about the responsibility of parents. Discuss. Okay, that's all. And these are not the only questions which can be asked. These are all the sample questions that I have given here in this list. Any question can be asked, because in every line in the poem can be asked a question on. That's why be prepared for every line. Okay. Next, I am going to take up a brief topic, that is a poetry comprehension. Here 20 poems have been prescribed in the workbook. Probably you have already gone through. Questions will be asked in the annual examination from these 20 poems, and it is better to have a look at those poems once again. Normally 3 to 5 lines stanza is given in the examination. Only 3 questions will be asked in the examination, and normally students commit a mistake. If a 3 lines stanza is given in the examination question paper, those who are not so good at English, they think that first line is the answer for the first question, second line is the answer for second question, third one is the third question answer. But it will not be like that. That's why read the poem carefully once or twice. There will be time. It takes only hardly a minute to read it twice or thrice. That's why read the stanza properly and then answer the questions. Okay. Then I'll give you an example of a stanza here. That example or the comprehension of poetry will be given in question number 25 in the question paper. The question will be like this: read the following lines and answer the questions. The poem is: 7 years I could not walk a step. When I to the great physician came, he demanded, why the crutches? And I told him, I am lame. This is the stanza, 4 lines stanza given here. The questions, 3 questions which can be asked on this stanza. How many years could the poet not walk? For 7 years, that is all. Phrasal answer is enough. B. What did the physician ask the poet? He asked, why the crutches? That is all. C. Third question, why did the poet use the crutches? Answer is, because he was lame. Only the clause answer. Wherever sentence is required, sentence. Wherever phrase is required, phrase. Wherever word is required, only word is enough. But don't commit mistakes in a hurry. Read the poem carefully and then answer the questions, and don't waste time, and don't be tensed in the examination. Okay, all the best. Thank you.